What is good, friends, and welcome back. I hope I'm not gonna ruin your Sunday with my complaint today. Yes, I have to put my Karen wig on and complain to the manager about the presets. Don't get me wrong, the presets are amazing. It's a huge quality of life upgrade that came with 11.2 update or 11.3. That doesn't matter at this point. Regardless, if you are in old school commanders that have a lot of officers, different units, you have a choice of officer skill training, the preset is a time-saving feature, so you can adapt your lineup, your army to the situation. However, nothing is perfect. In fact, the presets have more broken stuff than working stuff that could make the difference between life or death. If your little noodle is not working on 8 cylinders and you accidentally press the wrong button, it can cost you the victory and ruin your day, your Warpath day. All right, nobody's gonna die here, but it's just annoying that such a beautiful feature already needs some work. So what are we talking about? So let's pull up the preset. So right now I have my base busting preset, which is a light tank, super heavy, and 3 howitzers. Okay, before going with the heavy stuff, let's start with the light stuff. First of all, can we have labels? Okay, 1 2 3 4 5 doesn't tell me anything. Okay, I'm lucky that I'm an old commander and I have access to a lot of heroes or a lot of officers and a bunch of different units. Then it's kind of easy for me because each presets are totally different. I mean, I can tell the difference between this one, which is a field fighting lineup with a light tank and medium tank or main battle tank. This one is a field army with 3 tanks, 3 armors. This one, the plan number 3, is my base busting preset. This one is my 100% defense preset. When my base is about to get siege, I will switch to this one. But if your presets are quite similar and there's only a few modifications between each profile, it's very hard to look for the right preset because there's no label. Okay, label will solve a lot of issues, and I'm not asking the moon here. Just be able to like with the tags, you can label the tags. The same thing would apply with the preset. You should be able to rename them. Even better, sort them. So once you rename them and you feel like, oh, you know what, I would like the plan number 1 to be my field fighting profile be at the bottom of the preset for X reason. I don't know why. You should be able to do that. Otherwise, you have to override and it's time consuming and you can do a lot of mistakes. So having the possibility to label them would be great, and I don't think that would be difficult to code for the developers. The second annoying thing is when you want to save a preset. So this is my base destruction preset. I don't know if it's going to work live. Well, not live, but as I'm recording this. So let's say you want to modify something. Let's say I modify this unit and I want to save it. So I press on, first of all, before going into that, you don't know which preset you are right now. Okay, it's 1 2 3 4 or 5, so you have to look carefully. Okay, this one is my base destruct. Okay, so you don't know when you're about to save which one you are working on. Worst thing is if you press on edit, it brings you a preset that doesn't have anything to do, like it's most likely your previous saved preset rather than the one you're working on right now. So like I said earlier, if your profiles are quite similar, or maybe it's a matter of modification, wrenches, small upgrades, or maybe officer skill training, it's very hard to determine, hold on, which preset I'm working on right now. I know that this formation is saved under plan number 4, but this is not the plan I'm being on right now. This is plan number 3. So why does it brings me to plan number 4? It's very confusing if you are not 100% focused. Okay, maybe your kids are bothering you and your wife asking for some help or whatnot, and you just getting into position to work on this. Your mind is not 100% there. If you click on replace formation, you're gonna overwrite the wrong preset on the wrong lineup, which is super annoying, because once you do that, you cannot revert. Okay, so by having labels and fixing this little glitch, that will save us a lot of time. So this is the light stuff. Okay, imagine the big problem. So stick with me. I'm not done ranting. And I'm still in a good mood, guys. I mean, it's not the end of the world. This is a game, but the intention of Lilith to bring us the preset is to make our life easier, not harder. Okay, so this is my base busting preset. Okay, so here's the big problem. Let's say that my base is not under attack, but the enemy is creeping on me. So they are slowly creeping on me. They are approaching, and now they broke my line of defense. Most of the time when the enemy is creeping on me, I like to actively defend my base with my armor and my artillery. So when the enemy is about at this distance where the bunker is, I use my armor. When they get a little bit closer, I will leave my howitzers outside, and everything that gets engaged with my armor, the artillery is going to fire back. Okay, so this is actively defending your base. I understand that not everyone is allowed or able to do that, but I can. So, but once the enemy is where those Raven troops are, so the enemy is knocking at your door. Now, you have to be buffed. You have to use a barrack extension, and you need to think about adopting a defensive position with maybe some defensive officers, shield officers. Maybe your lineup will be different to survive the siege if your base is about to get siege. Well, it will. It's just a matter of when. Okay, so you have to be ready. Oh, but we have the presets for that, right? So let's say that I will switch to my defensive plan, which is this one. Okay, so I have Vox, I have this guy, which I forgot the name, Uncle Ivankov, thank you. I have Steel Fighter. I mean, I have all the defensive officers, the splash damage, artillery officers. I'm ready. So before you press this, if all your units doesn't have the same amount of modification or upgrades, you are about to screw yourself. So pay attention. I'm gonna press apply, and looky what we have here. So no surprise here, my MBT is training because I had my super heavy. I'm aware of that. It makes sense, right? It needs to retrain the super heavy or the main battle tank. But the problem is I'm retraining 2 howitzers here. So when I switch to a defensive mode or defensive army, if the enemy is knocking at my door, I just present them a base 60% empty. So my chance to survive are slim to none. If the enemy is aware of that, they will just engage my base and move me quite easily. Now, why is it doing that? It's quite simple. The problem is upgrades, modifications, and wrenches. Okay, all those stuff, all that stuff you put on your unit, you cannot put it back. You cannot remove it. You have to reset your unit. That's why the units are being resetted right here. Okay, so this one, it happened that the unit, this howitzer on my base busting setup had more wrenches. Same thing for this howitzer right here. They had a little bit more wrenches. It doesn't matter if it's 1 or 500,000, it will automatically retrain, presenting an empty base or a partially empty base. And this is the main problem here. You should be able to remove wrenches, remove modification, remove whatever you put back or whatever you put in your unit, so you can adjust it accordingly without having to train it again. So this is a huge problem. If you do that, actually there's two solutions for this. You're gonna say, well, Mag, it's your problem. You should change your army before the enemy is at your front gate, right? It makes sense. I understand it. But the thing is, when the enemy is at this distance, I like to engage and actively defend my base with units that packs a lot of firepower. That's how you eliminate enemy units, right? When you switch with this lineup right away, those officers are heavily focused or heavily in defensive. They are shield officers and they don't pack a lot of firepower. Therefore, it's really hard to eliminate them. It needs more work. I know it's not the end of the world, but the idea is to kill the enemy, not help them, right? So this could be a solution before the enemy gets too close. Now you have to switch early, but it doesn't satisfy me 100%. The other solution would be, well, Mag, each time you put a wrench or modify your unit, you have to go with each preset and save them and override them in order so you don't have a surprise when you switch them. Yeah, that's easily said than done. I mean, at a point, you get a lot of wrenches, maybe during a conquest, right? Every day you can add some wrenches and modify your units. You obtain a lot of merchandise or a lot of parts, resources, whatever the case, and you're constantly optimizing your army, so you have to modify all your profiles, which I'm sure nobody does. Okay, so there you have it. So this is the problem with the preset. Like I said, it's amazing, it's a good feature, I like it, but it needs a lot of optimization. What do you think? Am I overreacting? Am I just being a Karen complaining about everything and nothing? Or you live the same experience and you're not happy about that? So let me know what you think. Do you think that Lilith should optimize this? Do you think that Lilith should allow you to remove upgrades, modifications, and wrenches, so modifying your units is easier rather than resetting the whole thing and starting all over again? Let me know what you think. Until then, friends, I wish you a great weekend. I'll catch you on the next one. See ya.